This happened to me last year, between March and June 2025. My name's Brandon. I'm 27 and I live in Fort Collins, Colorado. I work as a graphic designer and mostly work from home, so I don't really go out much except for gym and groceries. Pretty normal life. It started small. One evening I was coming back from the gym around 8:30. I parked my car in the usual spot and noticed a grey Honda Civic parked across the street. The guy inside was just sitting there. I didn't think much of it at the time. A lot of people park there. But the next night, same car, same spot. The third night was also the same car. This time the guy had his window rolled down a little. I couldn't see his face clearly because it was dark, but I could feel him looking at me. I got a weird feeling and quickly went inside my apartment. After that, things started getting stranger. I'd be at the grocery store and notice the same guy a few aisles away. Average height, black hoodie, baseball cap pulled low. Never looked directly at me, but he was always there. If I went to the gym in the morning, he'd be there in the evening. If I went in the evening, he'd show up in the morning. I started changing my routine. Different times, different stores, but he kept showing up. One night I was sitting on my balcony having a beer. My apartment is on the second floor. I looked down and saw him standing under the streetlight across the road, just staring up at my balcony. When I stood up, he didn't move. He just kept staring. I went inside and locked the door. My hands were shaking. That's when I started getting really paranoid. I installed a Ring camera at my front door. The very next morning I got a notification. Someone had stood outside my door for almost 9 minutes at 3:17 a.m, just standing there. He never knocked. He never tried the handle. He just stood. The camera couldn't get a clear shot of his face because of the cap. I went to the police after that. I showed them all the videos and told them about the grey Honda. They took a report but basically said there wasn't much they could do unless he actually did something. They told me to keep recording and call if anything escalated. 2 weeks later, he left something at my door. It was a small brown envelope. Inside was a photo of me sleeping on my couch, taken from outside my living room window. On the back he had written in black pen, "You look peaceful when you sleep." That's when I got scared for real. I started staying at my buddy's place for a few days. When I came back, my apartment felt different. Some things were moved. My favourite hoodie was on the chair instead of the closet. The pillows on my bed were arranged differently. Someone had been inside. I changed my locks the same day. The final thing happened on a Friday night. I was driving home from my friend's house around 11:30. I kept checking my rearview mirror. That grey Honda was behind me, 3 cars back. I took random turns, went through neighbourhoods I don't even live in. He stayed with me the whole time. I finally pulled into a gas station that was open 24 hours. I parked right under the bright lights near the front. He parked on the side. I sat in my car for almost 40 minutes. He didn't get out. I didn't get out. It was like a staring contest. Eventually a cop car pulled in for coffee. The moment the cop got out, the grey Honda drove away. I never saw that car again after that night. But here's the part that still fucks with me. 2 months ago I moved to a new apartment on the other side of town. Different complex, different neighbourhood. I didn't tell anyone the new address except my parents. Last week I got a package. No return address. Inside was a new black hoodie, exactly like the one I wear to the gym, and a note that said, "New place looks nice, Brandon. See you soon." I still sleep with my lights on, and every time I hear a car door outside at night, my stomach drops. I don't know who he was. I don't know what he wanted, but sometimes I feel like he's still out there, watching, waiting for the right moment. My name is Emily. I'm 26 years old and I moved to Boise, Idaho last year for my new job at a marketing firm. I was really excited because it was my first time living alone. I found a nice small apartment on the second floor of a quiet complex. My neighbour on the right was this woman named Rachel. She was around 30, very friendly, always smiling. The day I moved in, she brought me homemade cookies and welcomed me to the building. She said she worked from home as a freelance writer. We started talking almost every day. She seemed really nice. At first I thought it was just normal neighbour stuff. She would ask me about my day, what I liked to eat, which gym I went to, even what shows I was watching on Netflix. I didn't think much of it. But after a few weeks, small things started feeling off. One evening I came home and found a package at my door. It was a new pair of wireless earbuds. I hadn't ordered anything. There was a note inside. "Saw you mention these on your Instagram story last week. Thought you might like them. Rachel. I never told her my Instagram. A few days later, I was on a call with my mum complaining that my coffee machine broke. The next morning, there was a brand new coffee machine outside my door with another note. Can't start the day without good coffee. I started getting uncomfortable. I never told her what brand I used. Then it got worse. I would come home from work and notice my stuff had been moved slightly. My laptop was open to a different tab than I remembered. My journal was on a different page. One time my favourite hoodie was folded differently. I started double checking if I had locked the door properly. I confronted Rachel one evening. I told her politely that I appreciated her kindness, but she didn't need to buy me things and I would prefer more personal space. She smiled and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just like taking care of people. I'll stop." For a week everything was quiet. Then one night around 2 a.m. I woke up because I heard my kitchen faucet running. I live alone. I grabbed my phone and slowly walked to the kitchen. The faucet was on full blast, but nobody was there. The next morning I found a small note on my fridge written in neat handwriting. "You looked so tired last night. I thought a glass of water might help. Sweet dreams." I never gave her a key. The same week I checked my laptop history. Someone had been searching through my emails and Google Drive while I was at work. My camera roll had been opened, even my deleted photos. I was terrified. I changed all my passwords, installed new locks, and put a chair under my front door at night. The final incident happened on a Friday. I came home late from a work dinner. When I opened my apartment door, all the lights were on. My favourite candle was burning on the table. There was a plate of freshly baked cookies and a glass of wine waiting for me. On the mirror in my bathroom, written in my own lipstick, it said, "Welcome home, Emily. You took so long today." I ran out of the apartment screaming. I called the police from the parking lot. They searched Rachel's apartment. She wasn't there, but they found something that still gives me nightmares. Hundreds of printed photos of me. Sleeping, cooking, showering, working, dates written on every photo. There were also copies of my keys, a notebook with my entire daily schedule for the last 2 months, and a diary where she wrote about me like we were best friends, or more. Rachel disappeared that night. The police still haven't found her. I moved out 2 days later. I now live in a different state with my parents. I don't post anything online anymore. I don't talk to new neighbours. Keep my curtains closed 24/7. Sometimes at night I still wake up thinking I can smell her cookies. The scariest part? Before I moved, the last thing I found in my old apartment was a small note under my pillow. It said, "I'll always be close by, Emily. Best friends don't leave each other." My name is Kevin. I'm 28 years old and I live in Austin, Texas. I work as a software engineer. Normal guy, nothing special. One Friday night, I was out with friends at a bar in downtown Austin. This girl came up to me. She was cute. Long dark hair, friendly smile. She said her name was Sophia. We talked for almost an hour. She seemed really cool and easy to talk to. At the end of the night, she asked for my number. I gave it to her. We started texting. Nothing serious at first, just casual talk. Memes, music, what we do for work. After a week, she suggested we meet for coffee. I said sure. But on the day we were supposed to meet, she cancelled last minute, said she wasn't feeling well. After that, her replies became slower. Sometimes she would disappear for 2 to 3 days, then suddenly she would text me at 3 a.m. asking what I was doing. I started getting a weird vibe, so I slowed down replying. That's when things got scary. One night I came home from work and found a small gift bag hanging on my apartment door. Inside was an expensive watch, exactly the same watch I'd saved in my Amazon wishlist months ago. I never told anyone about that wishlist, not even my friends. The note inside said, "I noticed you wanted this. Thought you deserved it. Sophia." I never met her for coffee. I never told her where I lived. I blocked her number. 2 days later, I got a new text from a different number. "Why did you block me, Kevin? I was just trying to be nice." I didn't reply. After that, every single night when I came home, something new would be waiting at my door. Flowers, my favourite energy drinks, a handwritten letter saying how much she thinks about me. One time she left a printed photo of me walking into my office building, taken from across the street. I went to the police. They said since she wasn't threatening me directly, they couldn't do anything. They suggested I file a report for harassment. I did that. But she got smarter. She started leaving things inside my car. I always lock my car. One morning I found a small teddy bear sitting on the driver's seat with a note. "You left your car unlocked. Be careful." I never left it unlocked. I installed a dash cam and apartment cameras. For a few days it was quiet. Then one night my dash cam caught her. She was standing next to my car at 2:47 a.m, looking directly at the camera and smiling. She knew exactly where the camera was. I moved to a new apartment across town, paid extra money for a gated community with security guards. I felt safe for almost 10 days. Then on the 11th night I woke up at 4 a.m. because I heard someone breathing near my bed. I turned on the light fast. No one was there, but on my pillow was a strand of long dark hair and a note written in red ink. "You can change apartments, Kevin, but you can't change your smell. I like the new body wash you're using." I threw up that night. I quit my job and moved back to my parents' house in Houston. I told them everything. They thought I was overreacting until they saw the notes and photos. Last week my mum found something terrifying in our mailbox. A letter addressed to me. Inside was a recent photo of me and my mum having dinner at our favourite restaurant. On the back it was written, "Nice to see you back with family. I missed you. See you soon, Kevin." I don't go outside anymore. I barely sleep. Every sound in the house makes me jump. I still don't know how she finds me. I still don't know what she really wants. I don't even know if her real name is Sophia. All I know is she's always one step ahead. And she's enjoying this. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to talk about. My name is Nathan. I'm 31 and I live in Portland, Oregon. I've always been a very private person. I don't post much on social media. I keep my circle small. It started in August 2025. I began noticing that some of my personal memories were being questioned by people. My best friend Jake asked me, "Bro, why did you tell me you hated your dad's new wife? I thought you guys were cool now." I never said that to him. I actually get along with her. Then my sister called me one day, really upset. She said I'd sent her a long message at 2 a.m. saying I wished she wasn't born because she was always the favourite. I never sent that. I checked my sent messages. It was there, from my own number. I thought maybe my accounts were hacked. I changed all passwords, enabled 2FA, everything, but it kept getting worse. My co-workers started acting weird around me. One day my boss pulled me aside and said, "Nathan, if you're having personal issues, you can take some time off. But sending those emails to the team about wanting to hurt yourself, that's concerning." I never sent those emails. Someone was logged into my work account sending messages as me. Someone was using my voice in calls. Someone was slowly destroying my life from the inside. Then the packages started arriving. First was a box with my childhood dog's collar. My dog died when I was 12. Only my family knew about that collar. It was buried with him. Inside the box was a note. "You cried for 3 days when he died. I remember." I never told this person anything. I installed hidden cameras in my house. I bought a new phone. I even stayed at a hotel for a week. But every time I tried to run, something worse happened. One night I got a call from my own mother's number. When I picked up, a distorted voice said, "You left the back door unlocked again, Nathan. I made sure to lock it for you." I ran to the back door. It was locked. I had definitely left it unlocked. The voice continued, "You still sleep with the lights on because you're scared of the dark. Just like when you were 7 and your father locked you in the basement." No one knows that story. Not even my closest friends, only my parents. I was losing my mind. The final night I was sitting in my living room with all the lights on and a knife in my hand. At exactly 3:33 a.m, my TV turned on by itself. It started playing old home videos from my childhood, videos that were never digitized. They were still in my parents' attic on old tapes. On the screen I saw myself as a kid, but in the corner of the video there was a reflection. A man standing behind the camera smiling. A man I had never seen before. Then the video paused. A text appeared on the screen. "I've been with you longer than you think. I was never stalking you, Nathan. I was becoming you." The TV turned off. The next morning I found my front door wide open. On the wall inside, written in black marker, was a single sentence. "See you at work tomorrow? Me." I quit my job that day. I left Portland the same week. I'm currently staying with my parents in a different state, but I still don't feel safe. Because whoever this person is, he doesn't just want to watch me.